I suppose you think I'm hipped on this idea of calling so often on the dealers.
Go on, Ben. Speak your piece.
All right. Our job is to sell more Coca-Cola. Always more and more. Where do we sell Coca-Cola? In these spots, Jim. These spots marked on the map. These are dealer stores. Places where people spend their nickels for Coca-Cola.
So what?
So, if we're going to get more people to spend more nickels at these spots, our salesmen have got to spend more time there. They've got to have the time to do a complete merchandising job. That means more men and more trucks.
Larry, why didn't you say so in the first place? Oh, Larry, I've never been afraid to put out, have I?
Did you call me, Jim?
Get ready to put some more men on the payroll.
More men?
I'm going out and buy 4 new trucks.
But, Jim, there's a depression.
So there is a depression, so you run along and worry about it. Ben and I'll knock the pants off it. The future of Coca-Cola, the getting of more and more people to drink Coca-Cola, is in the dealer's hands. We sink or swim, slump or succeed by the way he feels about Coca-Cola, because he holds forth free spokesman at the places where people spend their nickels. We must thank our dealers, folks like Sam, for helping us through the depression. And we must thank our salesmen, boys like Steve, who did a merchandising job out on the routes. Merchandising, that's a pretty highfalutin word. But in plain, everyday English, it means helping the dealers sell what you sell them. Helping the dealers. That's what Ben wanted to give the boys on the routes more time to do. It was giving the boys time to put out effort at the places where effort counts most that helped us lick the depression. Didn't I train you? You know, that's just the way I feel about my boys. I feel if they can go out on the routes and do a good job, well, it's because I showed them the ropes. Of course, I know this isn't true. Not literally. Ben Hawley is the sales side of my business. He handles the training. But I trained Ben. And I signed up for the films and records that have been so important a part of our training program. I remember the day our first meeting came.
You don't expect the boys to sit around and look at a lot of pictures, do you?
This program is more than just a lot of pictures, Larry. It's a training program. Why, if we expect the men to go out and do a better job on the routes, we've got to show them how to do a better job. We've got to help our salesmen to help our dealers. One trained man, one salesman, is worth more than 10 delivery men. And the answer to this depression is men, M-E-N.
Is that what they told you in Atlanta?
No, that isn't what they told me in Atlanta. Larry was mad at Atlanta all that year. You see, that year, the bottlers of Coca-Cola had a convention there.
You know, with the banks closing and all, I wasn't so sure we'd have this convention.
We'll lick this depression. Sure we will.
Bank holiday or no bank holiday.
What do you think of this new advertising campaign, Jim?
No, it's something, I'll tell you.
We're putting out more advertising than ever before. This year. Now.
Now's the time to put out. You've got to give to get. You've got to put out. Not just money, that's easy, especially when you've got it, but you've got to put out in time and effort and friendliness, too. Helpfulness. That's the way we'll lick this depression.
Read all about the bank holiday proclamation. Extra. Get your late paper. Read all about it. Read all about the bank holiday.
Dear,
Extra.
oh, dear,
Get
I
your
don't
late
know what the
paper.
world's
Extra.
coming to.
Just a minute, folks. Oh, here's Mr. Peyton.
When does the bank open?
When do we get our money?
I'm sorry. All I know is we got an order to close the bank. Why, I don't know any more than just what you can read in the papers.
Extra. Bank holiday. Extra. Read all about it. Extra. Get your late paper.
Headlines. Blaring, scaring headlines. We faced them in the past. Yes, we faced them in the past. big deals in my time, but this is the biggest I've ever run into.
Hurry up, honey, we'll be late for this dance.
I saw you duck out on the party, Jim.
I just came up here to listen to our radio program. We've come a long way in our advertising.
You've come a long way in your business. Why, I remember the time when you used to run around with a horse and wagon selling Coca-Cola.
I've been thinking about that past. I always do when I want to get a line on the future.
I hope you've been thinking about that little proposition we talked about the other day.
You know, life's funny, Pate. When I was poor and running around with that horse and wagon, I had to come to you begging for a loan. Now I'm running around a golf course. You're running after me.
So I'm sorry about that loan, Jim. But things are different now. These are big years. You ought to spread out, put some money in some other things. Take advantage of your opportunity.
Up to now, my opportunity has been with Coca-Cola. I figure it still is. I figure that's the place for me to spread out. Look, Pate, in the old days, you were a pioneer, I know. You were young and you were filled with courage, daring, alertness, going and doing. But those days are over, Jim. Now you're a big man. Now you're a success. Now I should grow old with prominence and prosperity?
No, Jim.
Now lethargy should set in? Now the beam should broaden? Now barnacles accumulate?
No, Jim, no.
That's just what I figure. Why, every man is a pioneer in his youth. It's natural. Well, I want to be one in my middle age. I want to be one until they carry me off someplace and plant sod on top of me. Why does everybody think that pioneering is the monopoly of youth and yesterday? Why, I'm 10 times the pioneer I was 20 years ago. I'm 10 times the man. My business has grown, and I've grown with it. And I want to keep on growing. These are big years, Pate. But I hope they're not too big for me.
I'm out for Coca-Cola.
Boy, oh boy.
What a wonderful idea, Helen, to serve Coca-Cola at home.
They're selling it in cartons now.
Cartons?
Yes, 6 bottles in a little pasteboard container.
We buy 2 or 3 of them every week.
Business was good in the 20s. More and more people came to enjoy the pause that refreshes. Business was good, and we aim to keep it good.